Welcome back to Less Cash, More Mash. My name's Tom, and today I'm super excited. I don't ever remember. Let me preface this by saying there's a good chance that I'm going to call this a bourbon, and I know Jack Daniels does not want it to be called. It's a Tennessee whiskey by their choice, special charcoal filtered. They don't want to, even though I believe it has done everything exactly to be considered a straight bourbon, they do not like to say that. So we're going to do my best not to call it that. It's a Tennessee whiskey, charcoal filtered. But today, I am going to try what I believe is for the first time, except for maybe when I was underage and I might have snuck a drink illegally. I don't think I've ever actually had Jack Daniels. And this was part of the thing that made me think about when I wanted to make a collection. There's so many name brand whiskeys that I've never had. Now, according to the internet, I looked real quick. They are considered the best-selling whiskey in the world. They actually said also they are considered the oldest registered distillery in Tennessee. So they've been around since, I think they were founded in I think it said 1875. They were bought out by Brown-Forman in 1956. They've been around 147 years. So they've been selling a lot of whiskey for a lot of years. So they're definitely doing something right. But I will say, out of all of the people that I've watched taste them, and there's a lot of people that aren't fans of this. So I was kind of really excited to try it, to see what everybody was talking about. Like, some people really say that there's a lot of dislike when it comes to this whiskey for whatever reason. But there you go. So this is just the regular. They have many variations like everybody else. This is just their straight. I don't know why I'm looking at it. It's not like I can see anymore. This is the old number 7, 80 proof. The distillery is down in Lynchburg, Tennessee. And one day I want to get down there and do the tour. I know I have a friend of mine that's probably watching, and he just did a tour recently and got a special bottle that you can only buy down the tour. And I'm going to move this over because, see, this is what I was talking about. My brother told me to put them on the other side. I tried putting them over there, but I always tend to put the bottle right back, and then you can't see the ones behind me. But we're going to give this a smell. We're going to see if I can get anything out of this. I've been throwing my nose in my bacon department, smelling everything. See if I can get a hint of anything. Now, just on the first smell of it, it smells. See, I was just down there. Yeah, I get what I attribute to a brown sugar. And I really can, it's funny. It almost smells like a banana bread. That's what it smells like to me. I get and I've heard other people hint of that, and you really can you can get a hint of a banana, like a overripe banana smell to me. And I get a little of the, you get them same, it's almost to me, it's a smell of a combination. I was just down there smelling like the brown sugar and a vanilla, if you mix them together and made that's what I smell. And I do, but you do get a little hint of a banana bread. Let me try that. Let me try a sip. Just on the first smell, the last one I did was actually Evan Williams, and that one had a different, this one you can almost smell the alcohol more when you're sniffing it, but let me try a taste. When it hits your tongue, what I attributed it as smooth when I did, I think even the first two over here, it kind of it coats your tongue, but this one has like a little spice when it hits your tongue. It feels like it's like a spice that hits you first, and then when it goes down, and it's a nice easy drinking one. I'm gonna wait a second. I'm gonna try to get a second sip in to see if I can get a lot more of the flavors. A lot of the flavors didn't shine through like what it smells like. You didn't really get that taste. You got more of a what I want to say is like an alcohol flavor, as opposed to like the other one. I could like taste the the caramel type flavor on there. See, that's good too. I don't have a fault with it. It is tasty. Now, again, I'm coming from drinking cheaper ends of the bourbon scale, but I'd have to go back, and I did go back. It wasn't on camera. And if you want to see anything like that, leave a comment down below. But I went back and I tried them all. In the order I have them in from left, your left, or it'd be my right to left here, is the order I thought, taste-wise, that they were. And right now, Evan Williams being the cheapest one at $14.99. This one was $26.99, 750 milliliter. So I think that's probably why I've never bought Jack Daniels, because although it is not a bad tasting whiskey, it is actually pretty good. I don't find it's not hard to drink, but the straight Old Number 7 to me isn't carrying as much flavor as what the Wild Turkey or the Evan Williams, I think, had. I think it's more in line with the 10 High that I used to drink as far as flavor-wise, like as, you know, the burst of the flavor that comes through. I'd have to go back. And that was the fun part of doing this. And it's kind of why hopefully someone who's a rookie like me does it. Again, I used to buy a bottle, drink a bottle. So you never get the contrast in flavors and tastes that you get. So the other day, I took a little bit and I tried each one back to back to really see. And there is a distinct difference in taste and flavor and smell. Could I pick them out of a lineup? I don't know. But it's going to be fun to try. And I do want to do that in the future. If you want to see something like that, let me know once I get a bigger repertoire of whiskeys. And but that's part of the thing too. Like, these are owned by Brown-Forman, who owns, I think they do all the Old Foresters, and correct me if I'm wrong, they do a lot of other Maine whiskeys that I've never had. So they say once you get into a certain distillery, even though it's a different whiskey, their profile kind of shines through. So it'll be interesting to see if that's the case once I get a handful of the same distilleries or the same, you know, owner's place. It sits on the tongue nice. It's not like heavy like a syrup. It's very drinkable. I you know, the problem would be is this is like drinkable. Like this would just go right down. And again, this went back to if I'm drinking a drink, I would much rather, you know, get the Evan Williams where it's $14.99 as opposed to this that was $26.99, because if I'm going to kill a bottle, I would rather kill a cheaper one. But overall, this is very good. What I remember of it, though, I think I'm going to have to keep Evan Williams in the top spot. I remember it being more flavorful. And again, as I go along, this may change. And if I go back and do it and put it in like a whiskey war or a blind flight where I don't know what they are, and just to try them and see, and which whiskey by the end of it I would like to, you know, I can say I might not be able to pull out all the flavors in the caramel, but you definitely know which one you like best. And just because I like it doesn't mean anybody else in the world will like it. And because everybody's taste is different, but it's going to be fun to try. So if you want to see something like that in the future, leave a comment down below. I'm gonna try to. I think I'm gonna try to put out a couple a week. I'm gonna try to pick 2 days. I think I'm gonna put one out on like Wednesday, maybe Saturday, and then that way I can try to stay consistent, so that everyone will know when they're coming out. And so hopefully, if you subscribe, you'll have a certain day that it's gonna come out on, so you can view it. Overall, I mean, I think it's very tasty. There's a nice flavor going on. Although you can smell in the beginning, I don't so much smell it anymore. You could smell the. That was the other thing I've watched and I've noticed. Like I went back and I tried some of these, and there is something to the neck pour. I've heard people talk about it, but I've never really noticed it. But when you get that first pour, it's almost like it's not as developed and it needs like some oxygen to hit it. Because like when I've gone back and tried some of the other ones, like their flavor opens up a little bit once it gets cracked and stuff. So there is a big difference in that. So, I don't know if it's more muted because it is that initial neck pour, and maybe this will open up and it'll turn into my #1 spot. But as of right now, I think it's going to stay with Evan Williams. Especially due to price. You really can't beat that one right there. But I'm not, at first I was like, gee, should I even buy the Jack Daniels because it gets such a bad rap? But I hadn't had it, and I got to say I like it. So, with that being said, if you're like me and one of the 3 people in the world that haven't tried Jack Daniels, and again, I've had Jack and Coke in the past and stuff like that, but I've never actually drank it straight, and neat. I didn't drink anything neat before. I threw everything on ice cubes and let it melt, and then I just got it in me. So overall, I think it's a good buy. It's not going to take my top spot, but I wouldn't mind putting it into a battle in the future and see. Plus, or try any of the other variations that Jack actually has. They have a few different single barrels and stuff like that. That they have a 10-year, and they have different ones out there that eventually I would like to get and try, and then I can compare the two. But with that being said, if you liked what you see, hit that like button. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about Jack Daniels, because there's a lot of people that aren't huge fans of there, and it was kind of interesting to see that they were like around that long, and they are, according to the internet, the highest selling whiskey in the world, but yet there's so many people that don't like it. Somebody out there is buying it. So there you go. Leave a comment down below. Hit that subscribe if you feel like you want to, and as always, spend less and drink more. Salute.